back to Cosmopolitan Magazine and Dr. Keith's look inside the mind of the single woman. We had 4 single women meet our panel of single guys to find out what they're looking for in their relationships. After the mixer, Donna chose to talk with Steven, and they seemed to hit it off. Take a look.
Donna, nice to meet you. Well, when he first sits down, he's a handsome guy, and he seems to have a really comfort about himself, which is the #1 thing that I really look for in men, is that they're self-confident.
So you're into sports?
Oh, I'm a big sports fan.
Oh,
yeah.
What kind of sports?
Football, mostly. But,
really?
Yeah.
I like somebody who's active, since I'm active myself.
I like to play tennis, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been playing?
Well, since I was a kid, but it's not like I'm, like, you know, amazing at tennis or anything.
I made it to the U.S. Open, the tennis, for the first time this year.
Me too. I feel we have a lot in common. We both really like sports. We both like tennis. We were both at the U.S. Open recently.
My new love, I have to say, is golf.
I actually now watch golf on TV, which I never thought I'd do. It was really a balanced conversation. It wasn't weighted too much on either side, which was really nice.
I feel like you could throw her into any situation and she would shine. She would do very well.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of a connection. We'll see what he thought.
I think age is an issue, and I think that she's a bit older than me, and I probably would shy away from dating Donna for her because of her age.
You'd shy away from dating a woman this beautiful because of her age?
Yeah, I think...
How many years separate you guys?
Enough.
I think it's enough.
Enough. We'll leave it at that. Okay, tell me your thoughts on that, because that's important.
Age is important because we're at different levels at different ages. You know, I'm embarking on a new career. I'm starting, you know, going down new avenues in my life, and certain things are in different
in transition.
Well, you know, to be honest, I'm actually embarking on a new career too. Actually, I just went back to school.
She has that in common with you. It's really the chronologic thing.
Women age better than men mentally. So therefore, you're better actually.
Well, see, but I think you touched on something, because it's really all about the timing and the point that you're at in your life. And if you're ready for one thing and the other person's
Would you date
not,
a much younger man?
I never have. I'm not saying that I wouldn't.
So, Stephen, any insight into her as a person that would be valuable here?
I think she's I think she's a great person. I just think that she probably hasn't found the right person for her, because she has everything going for her. She's beautiful. She's intelligent.
But if you she has great teeth.
She does have all that. She also, by the way, I mean, and this is like not to take a turn toward anything less than frivolity here and happiness, but you did lose your mom at an early age.
I did, yeah.
You know, and I'll tell you, women who've lost a parent, anybody who's lost a parent in her teenage years, as you did, would have a hurdle to get over in order to be intimate with somebody. Right?
You know, it's interesting, because my first boyfriend broke up with me 9 months into the relationship and came over and said, I don't want to go out with you anymore.
Why?
And exactly, and I was all upset, and I said, why? And I cried, and he left, and he drove around the block, and he came back, and he said, I'm just kidding, I don't want to break up. And I said, what? And he said, I didn't think you'd care. I was going to break up with you. And I went,
it's amazing.
I love you. And he was like, you don't act like it.
You don't show it, maybe. That's really interesting. Anybody else have a thought about her?
Well, I had a thought about Steven. Would you...
There we go.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh, God, he hates that. Anyway, what if a girl was quite a bit younger than you? Would you go out with her?
Well, it's hard.
Good question.
It's a connection. I think you.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would. No, I limit.
The youngest girl you've ever dated is how old?
The age.
The youngest girl you've ever dated is how old?
Better be 18.
The youngest.
The youngest.
The youngest I've ever dated.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years.
5 years younger.
Okay.
That's the most.
Do you need to take control of a relationship?
No.
Well, okay.
I think a relationship is a balance. I think it's 50-50. I don't think one person should be in control over another.
All right, well, we'll buy that.
I have 2 comments here.
Well, wait, before you comment, we have a date between you, well, not a date, but your interaction is the last one between Ivy, you, and Morgan. So let's take a look at that.
Wait, now,
see, now you're trying to control my show. This is my show. She won't even let me have my show. It's unbelievable. Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Is it the woman that goes out with the
Roll it.
man?
It's okay.
I went on a one-on-one date with Ivy. I'm Morgan.
Or Supersonic.
Supersonic. What's with the self-proclaimed nickname?
Well, it's actually when I started my hat business 10 years ago.
Okay.
I noticed that things that I were doing, like that would take me like an hour, would probably take somebody else a month. So I was like, yo, Supersonic.
It was all about Ivy. She was showing me all of her hats and tricks and all the stuff in her bag and her magic show, and I don't really care.
Well, actually, I just did a modeling shoot for the cutting room. I'm still designing the hats. I mean, I've done like Monica Lewinsky, Pam Anderson, Hillary Clinton, Tommy Lee. I mean, you name it, I've designed hats for them.
For any guy, a date with Ivy, Try to end it after the first couple drinks.
Like right now I'm working on a VIP wedding and I'm booking, hopefully I'm booking Joan Jett and Joan Rivers and some stuff. But I do a lot of booking and a lot of things in the music industry, like manage up and coming, you know, rock and roll stars.
Okay.
You
can have this stuff back.
Okay.
It's nice. I like that. There would be no reason to date Ivy. I think she's a nice person, but I just would get bored of hearing about her tattoos and hats and all the things she has going on in her life.
There's something about him, and we're not gelling.
But Ivy,
you take
Amy. It's interesting that you don't show how vulnerable you are. You are, though. I can tell. I mean, you're really an emotionally available person if somebody gets through the armor.
If it's the right person, you'd have to be like an artist or a musician or somebody who's...
Or someone in jail.
he was talented. He sang, he played the drums, he wrote 100 songs while he was in prison.
Ivy, that's perfect, actually. What do I know how to do? Name one thing.
The only thing you know how to do is look good.
No,
now,
but you would know that because you didn't ask me any questions.
Well, I mean,
Attilio, get into this. What do you think, man?
I think after a certain point, I think women start to mold themselves.
Okay.
And not that they're all defensive, but when, you know, the word nice guy, it's like a bad thing. Because you sort of approach a woman. I was really quiet in the whole...
Yes.
I didn't really...
Yeah, you tend to hang back and kind of get the lay of the land. That's why I wanted to see what you thought.
Yeah,
it's
you're
because
the observer of the whole thing.
I was. It's just, it's curious to see how, and I think it does happen when you get older, is you're more defensive. Not defensive, but you've been through so much that you sort of, when a guy like...
Well, I think defensive is a good word because the truth is...
your armor up.
In almost every case, what we hear is if you just tell us your feelings, if you would just be willing to say, listen, you should know about me that it's been a big thing in my life. I lost somebody I loved when I was young.
I've actually gotten to the point where, see, but now it's gone the other way for me. Now I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm willing to say anything. But
and you're the opposite?
Yeah.
I used to think that Prince Charming was coming to get me and everyone was wonderful. I grew up with a wonderful
family. That's because
family.
you saw fairy tales as a child.
No,
I
watched.
that.
But have you ever realized?
Honestly.
You know what? You want Prince Charming like with a broken horse.
However,
because you want to be in, you need to feel like he's needy
No,
for
but then
you.
what happened was I thought, okay, I'm doing well in business. When I was 21, I was in technology boom and recruiting, and I just wanted to find love. And I watched Pretty Woman a little bit too much. And now you see romantic comedies. They don't even end up happy in the real world. You watch Crime, and I cried my eyes out.
Listen, most guys are all about their special massages. They're all liars. They're all cheaters.
No. Stay. You know what? You've got so many different shields. I'm not going to let you hold up all these shields. When we come back,
I just know a little too much.
Well, we'll get into more of this. When we come back, we're going to find out what our singles think about sex on the first date. Stay with us. It's Dr. Keith and Cosmo inside the mind of the single woman.